A tin can on four wheels. A van is a vehicle, no matter how many plants or boho style pillows you throw into it. But with the right items, you can make about anything, including a van, feel like a home. So today we're gonna be going over 5 things that make my van feel more like a home. Number 1, the most obvious, and that is just a full build out where I did everything possible to make it as much like a home inside the van as possible when building it. Covering every piece of metal and anything else that reminds me that I am inside of a van, most likely in a Walmart parking lot. And that includes window covers. From the window covers up front of the van that are made by the Wonderful window covers that are a little bit bougie and a little bit expensive, to the $30 window covers that I used to have for this front half of the van. Anything that you can get to cover those front windows makes a huge difference. Hey wind, how about you off? And that goes for all the window covers in my van, from these checkered ones in the kitchen that actually my grandma made for my bedroom when I was a kid. They happen to fit really well in the van, to the sliding door covers. And even the covers on the back windows, also made by the Wonderfully. All these window covers combined make an insane difference in my privacy in the van and separate me from the outside elements. Whether it's a beautiful spot like this where I don't want to be separated, or if it's a Walmart parking lot where I desperately want to feel like I'm just in my home and not connected to the environment around me at all. Along with that, these window covers help me combat against the heat in the summer and the cold in the winter, which leads us into number 3, this diesel heater right here. This diesel heater is likely the best upgrade I'd ever made to the van, and honestly, it might be the best $100 I'd ever spent. In the colder months, every morning you're reminded that you're living in a vehicle when you wake up and the inside of your home is the same temperature as the outside. There comes the fucking wind. It makes it really tough to get out of bed in the mornings when your kitchen is 32 degrees, but thankfully this heater makes a huge difference with that. So a diesel heater isn't like a house furnace. I mean, the wind is just so fucking annoying. Of course, it's not fucking windy all day until the minute that I start filming a video. Here comes wind. We bunker down, it's gonna be a fucking tornado. And being able to come home after a day of snowboarding and hit the on button on a normal thermometer and have within about 5 minutes your house be 70 degrees while the outside is 30 degrees. I've been in snowstorms where it's 0 degrees for days on end, feet of snow pouring in the van, and I'm nice and cozy in my shorts and t-shirt while cooking dinner. And it has a timer for when it turns on, so if I'm gonna be going to bed knowing that the morning's gonna be cold, I can set it to turn on in 8 hours, so then I can have it turn on at 6 a.m. By 7 a.m. the van is a nice toasty 75 degrees, and I can get out of bed without it feeling like an icicle inside of my house. And on top of that, if I'm going snowboarding and leaving the van for a day and Cassie the dog is going to be in here by herself, there's also a timed off function, so I can leave it running when I leave, knowing it'll turn off in an hour. Isn't that right? Gotta keep Cassie nice and cozy. And number 4 is something you need to run that diesel heater, and that is a solar system. Whether it's a couple 100-watt panel on your roof and like a 100 amp hour SLA battery, a cheap setup just enough to be able to run some lights, charge your phone, and maybe run a small fridge, or if it's some overkill system with like 800 amp hours of batteries and 600 watts of solar and 3,000 watt inverter to be able to run like video games and a racing simulator and charge an electric dirt bike. But I don't know what kind of weirdo would do that in a van. Either way, a solar system of any sort is almost essential to making your van feel more like a house. To be able to charge your phone without going into a Starbucks to charge up your laptop, run lights at nighttime, run a small heater, run a small fridge, it makes a giant difference. It's like $1,000 or so to throw into your build, and it really does make a huge difference in feeling like you're living in a car versus a small home on the road. And number 5 is this contraption right here. For the first year or so, I used my phone's hotspot as my main source of Wi-Fi, and then after that I tried this dinky little mobile portable hotspot thing from a cell service carrier, and after that I got like a small Wi-Fi router like this that never really had a real home. So I'd have to set it up, screw in the antennas, plug it into the wall, and set it on my countertop every time I wanted Wi-Fi. And it was a bit of a process, and then it just made the van feel a little bit more cluttery, just like that much more, from having that thing sitting on my countertop the whole time. The same thing goes for Starlink. Even if I had it permanently mounted on my roof, it's just a whole process to try to find somewhere to aim it into the sky that isn't blocked by trees, and then it pulls a ton of power, so I can't leave it running all the time even if I wanted to. But having this Wi-Fi mounter permanently mounted on this shelf here, always plugged into my inverter, so every time I flip on my inverter switch to turn on these LED under cabinet lights and just the rest of my electronics that I run when I get home, having the Wi-Fi just turn on automatically and immediately having some Wi-Fi service inside the van to hook my laptop up to, my iPad, or whatever it is that I'm working, emailing, or just trying to play some games, I don't even have to think about it. Sure, the process of setting up the Wi-Fi router only takes a couple minutes. It only makes a little bit more clutter on the countertop. That's just one of those things that you take for granted in your house, that when you walk in the door, you immediately, when you open up your laptop, it's connected to the internet, all the updates are done. Just one of those small things that all start to add up and make you feel a little bit more normal. And a bonus option that I thought of after writing the script for the first 5 of this video, and is a very notable mention, is not only this giant sink, but just having running water in the van in general. For the first year or so in the van, I didn't have any running water inside the van, which definitely sucked pretty bad. Hand washing all the dishes using a gallon jug of water was a total pain, and only being able to rely on gyms for showers, not even having the option. It's definitely pretty annoying. It's doable, but very annoying if you're trying to live in a van long term and try to feel like somewhat like a normal human while living in the van. And then for the next couple years, I didn't have any hot water in the van. I just recently, a year or 2 ago, installed an electric water heater, which I haven't been able to use much until I installed my new batteries in one of our most recent videos. Check that out on the channel if you haven't seen it already. It in depth goes through our whole solar system and shows you the entire electrical compartment of the van. It's nothing too special, but it does show you guys what we're working with in the van. And along with that, being able to give the dog a nice hot bath in the van without having to spend like $30–40 at a dog wash station, because those are unbelievably expensive for no good reason. And that pretty much sums up the 5 things in my van that make it feel more like a home. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this video. It helps push the video out. Hit the subscribe button if you guys want to see more content from us in the future and our old videos recommended to you. I don't know, if there's a hype button down in the comments, maybe click on that, see what happens. And lastly, comment what is one thing that you guys could not live without in your house, or if you were to do a van build, what the #1 necessity would be inside your van that you would have to have, couldn't live without. And that will let me know that you watched the video all the way until the end. And if you guys want to show some extra support, you guys can check out the link in the description to my Etsy store to be able to check out our hats, t-shirts, and mugs, all designed by myself. Thank you everybody who has ordered shirts in the past. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you everybody who just clicks the like button, subs, and comments. It's all very helpful, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.